Hey everybody, this is Mr. Ainsworth, and we're going to get into your progression quiz here and correct it and go over all the solutions of all these expressions with rational exponents. Okay, so before we do this though, the key to all of this here is to understand that the denominator is the root. Okay, so we're going to root it first and then take it to the power. Okay. That is the key. So when I look at here on the first one here, I take a look at 8 to the 5/5 power. I notice that the denominator is 3 and that represents the cube root right here. So what I want to do is cube root the 8 first. Because in reality, what this is it's 8 to the 1/3 power, all right, raised to the 5th power. Okay, we know the power to a power, we multiply the exponents. 1/5 times 5 is 5/3. So seeing it in this form right here will help you understand that really we're taking the cube root of 8 first. Remember, the 1/3 power is the cube root. So we take the cube root of 8. If you want to write it in radical form, it looks like this. All right. We want to take the cube root of 8 first, all right, which is 2. All right. And then we want to raise it to the power of 5, which is 32. You got to know your powers of 5 really well. 2, 4, okay, 8, 16, 32. Remember how we do powers of 2, base 2? All right. So you want to root it first by looking at the denominator of the exponent, all right, and then go take it to the power, okay, go with the flow. On the next one here, I see 8 to the 3/4 power, so the 4th power is the 4th root. So really this is 81 raised to the 1/4 power, and then raised to the 3rd power. All right, we know that 1/4 times 3 is 3/4. So the 4th root of 81 is 3, all right, because we know that 3 to the 4th is 81. 3, 9, 27, 81. That's equivalent to 3 to the 4th. So we take the 4th root of 81, which is 3, and then I cube it, and I get 27. All right. The next one here, I look at the denominator, and it's 5, right? So it's the 5th root, all right? So you take the 5th root of 32. If you want to write it out, it looks like this. 5th root of 32, and then I have to take it to the 7th power. So I got to take 2 to the 7th power. The 5th root of 32 is 2, and then 2 to the 7th power. Well, that's, let me see. Let's do powers of 2. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. That's 2 to the 5th. 64, 128. So this is 128. If we go base 2, powers of 2 all the way up to 2 to the 7th. All right, 9 to the 3/2 power is 9 to the 1/2 power. All right, raised to the 3rd power. Well, that's just the square root of 9, and I have to take that to the 3rd power after I take the square root. So I take the square root of 9, which is 3, and raise it to the 3rd power, and I get 27. Now, once with negative exponents, notice that the exponent is negative now. We have to kick in our negative power rule, all right, and rewrite it, because these are not negative numbers. They actually become fractions. So this is 1 divided by 4 to the 9/2 power. Okay, so I got to square root the 4 first. All right, that's 2, and then raise it to the power. And 2 to the 5th, or 2 to the 9th is kind of big. It's 512, so this is a fraction, 1 out of 512, or 105/12. Likewise down here, 125 to the negative 2/3 power. So you rewrite it as a fraction, so 1 divided by 125 to the 2/3. All right, I need to cube root the 125 first. And if I review the base 5, powers of 5, I go 5, 25, 125. So I know that 2 to the, or 5 to the 3rd power is 125. So if I cube root the 125 first, I get 5, right? And then I have to square it, and I get 1/25. Okay, anytime you see a negative exponent, like in this one and also in the next one here, you convert it to a fraction first, and don't skip any steps, all right? So you get 1 out of 64 raised to the 4/3 power. So I got to cube root the 64. So let's do review base 4. 4, 16, 64. All right, this is equal to 4 cubed. And because of that, the cube root of 64 is 4. So I'm going to take 4 now, raise it to the power of 4. So I cube root it first by looking at the denominator. Always the denominator first. Okay, that tells you what the root is. So I cube root 64 to get 4, and now raise it to the power. I just did base 4, so let's do it again. So 4, 16, 64, and multiply by another 4 is 256. All right, so this is 1/256. Okay, on number 8, we got to raise both of these to the 3/2 power. So take 25th to the 3/2 times x to the 4th to the 3/2 power. You got to raise them both to the 3/2 power. So on the first one here, 25 to the 3/2, I got to take the square root of 25 first, which is 5, and then I got to cube it, and that'll become 125 here in a minute. And then here, 4 times 3/2, a power to the power you multiply. All right, 4 times 3/2 is 12/2. 12 divided by 2 is 6, so I get times x to the 6th. So my final result is 125 x to the 6th. Okay, I just did a little side work over there. Power to the power you multiply. All right, back to negative exponents again, right here. Okay, we got 49, excuse me, you have to write it as a fraction first. So 1 out of 49 x to the 8th to the 1/2 power. You got to take both of these to the 1/2 power, just like I did in number 8. So 49 to the 1/2 power is 7, and then x to the 8th to the 1/2 power is x to the 4th. So 1 over 7x to the 4th. Likewise down here, I got to rewrite it as a fraction first. So I got to take 1 out of that, 1 over that, and I'll raise it to the 5/4 power. And I got to take 16 to the 5/4, and I have to take x to the 12th to the 5/4. I got to raise them both to the 5/4. So I get 1 over, let me see, the 4 through the 16 is 2, and 2 to the 5th, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So I got 32 down here, and then when I multiply 12 times 5/4, let me see, 12 times 5/4. Oops, got to write it correctly here. Okay, you divide first, right? Well, you don't have to, but it's easier. 12 divided by 4 is 3, times 5 is 15. All right, there you go. Okay, so I get 1 over 32 times x to the 15th power. And that is how it's done, all right? So let's keep going. 64 to the 1/2 power is 8, because this is the square root. Okay, square root of 64 is 8, and then power to the power you multiply, so you get times x to the 5th. So this right here represents the square root, and this is the cube root. Again, the 1/2 power is the square root. Okay, this one here in number 12, this is the cube root. Cube root, okay, 1/3 power is a cube root. So I get to cube root the 27 to get 3, and then y to the 12th to the 3rd. Well, I better step this one out. Let me just do that. Okay, so I'll take 12 to the 1/3 power times y to the 12th to the 1/3 power. So not 12, I'm sorry, that's 27. So 27 to the 1/3 power, that's 3. And then 12 times the 3rd is 4, so you get times y to the 4th power right here, okay? Next one, 216 to the 2/3 power times y to the 15th to the 2/3 power. So the cube root of 216 is 6, but you got to square that. And this right here, 15 times 2 is 30, divided by 3 is 6. So this is times y to the 6th. So end result is 36y to the 6th. Okay, next one. Rewrite it using positive exponents only. So 1 over 81 to the positive 3/4, and then I have to raise y to the 8th to the 3/4, and then this would be, let me see, the 4 through the 81 is 3, 3 cubed is 27, so this is 27, and 8 times 3 is 24, divided by 6 is 6, so times y to the 6th, okay? In the last one here, we have 1 divided by 16 to the 1/2 power, or the square root, times y to the 4th to the 1/2 power. And you get 1 divided by 4 times y squared. Okay? And that's how it's done. It's not too bad. You just got to get used to it. Get really good at your arithmetic here and your number sense. All right? And because there's a video here, you know how to use it. You can pause, play, rewind, and go ahead and practice, okay? Practice these until you can do this whole thing in under 10 minutes, all right, and get good. All right, I will see you in the next one here. This is Mr. Ainsworth. I'm signing off. See you in class. Bye-bye.